What's up, everybody? It's your girl Jazz, and we are back again for episode 21 of Sisters on BET. Before we get into this episode, I want to say to everybody that is new to my channel to please like and subscribe, and thank you so much for tuning in. So let's get into it. So we are discussing Sisters, and we are talking about the latest episode. So it picks up where it left off, and Gary basically bombards the baby shower, and he spills the tea that him and Andi are getting married. And of course, everybody is taken aback by this news, especially the girls. And they're like, "Oh my God, Andi, you can't do this. Why would you take him back? How could you take him back?" And I am actually surprised that they are not paying attention to Andi's body language. Andi is like standing there stoic. They can't see that she's standing there like a statue. She's standing there. They don't notice that he's doing all the talking. He's doing all the talking. She's not saying a word. She's standing there literally looking like, somebody help me. I don't want to do this. And like they're not paying attention to their friend at all. Which again tells me that these girls ain't friends. and I've literally been saying this. I've been saying this and been peeping this since season 1, right? And so they're like, "Oh my God, Andi." And so Danny's like, "Tell me you ain't back with this clown, right?" And so Fatima is like, "Andi, you really doing this?" Now, Fatima kind of picked up on the body language and stuff. She didn't say nothing, but she, at least to me, and y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments, but Fatima at least kind of picked up a little bit. You know, she's like, "Andi, girl, you really doing this?" And so Gary's like, "Yeah, we're doing it, and y'all are invited to the wedding." Well, not everybody. I forgot what he called ghetto and I'm sorry, I forgot what he called Zack and Fatima, but he basically called them the ghetto bunch or something like that. But he basically said that Zack and Fatima not invited to the wedding, and he called them ghetto, and Zack, that made Zack mad. He was ready to fight. And I find it very interesting that Zack was ready to pop off because of Gary calling them ghetto, but he didn't do nothing. He didn't do nothing when Gary called Fatima out of her name. Now this is the same Zack who and I know that Zatima doesn't have anything to do with Sisters, even though Zatima is a spinoff of Sisters. But that's another story for another day. But anyway, and if I'm honest, no, I'm not going there today. Nope. Jazz, don't you do it. Don't you do it, Jazz. We're talking about Sisters. I'm not doing it. Nope. Anyway. Anyway. So they kind of had a little banter back and forth or whatever, right? And so what's his name? Rich steps in and was like, "Hey, we can beat you up, and Zack can go first, right?" And so Gary was like, "You know what? As a matter of fact, ain't none of y'all invited to the wedding." And so Andi steps in. You can tell that Andi honestly is just trying to be peaceful. She's trying to be peaceful. She is trying to find a way out. And let's be real, she's trying to stay alive. People can say she. I was gonna wait to go here, but I'm gonna go ahead and go here now. I find it very weird and very odd that when a black woman is in a domestic violence situation where it's really life or death for her to get out, it's always she's stupid. But when a black woman is in a situation where she keep going back to it because she quote unquote loves them, it's, child, I get it. You don't understand. It's when you love somebody, it's not that easy. Child, when you're trying to stay alive, it's also not that easy. It's literally the same thing. Now, I'm not saying either is right. I'm not saying either is right, but both are literally about survival. So, and I'm not comparing situations when it comes to Karen or when it comes to Andi, but I find it very funny in the sisters fandom that Karen keep wanting to go back to Zack, or keep wanting to be in this cycle, this toxic cycle with Zack is okay. But when it comes to Andi, her trying to stay alive, she's stupid. Why? Somebody, let's have a healthy dialogue about that. Why is it okay for Karen, but when it comes to Andi, she's stupid? Let's talk about it. Let's seriously, respectfully talk about it. Because if we honest, neither situation is easy. And if we're honest, both situations are toxic. And if we and also if we're honest, both situations are choices. But why is it that one of them you have more sympathy and understanding for, and the other one, she's stupid? When both situations you can tend to be empathetic and sympathetic for. And if I'm honest, I've had to catch myself with both. In having dialogue and in talking about both, I've had to catch myself. And I've had to say, okay, Jazz, you can be a little bit more empathetic and you can be a little bit more sympathetic when talking about both characters. I've had to catch myself with both. Because neither situation is easy. If we keeping it a buck, neither situation is easy. Emotionally, both are taxing. They're both take a toll on you emotionally. They both take a toll on you physically. They both take a toll on you mentally. Dealing with a human being, period, take a lot out of you. Let's go on and keep it real, So, drop what y'all think in the comments. But anyway, so Andi steps in. And she's like, look, y'all, I just need y'all. This is what I want to do. And I just need y'all to respect my decision. And Gary, let me finish up here and I'll call you when everybody leave. Gary was like, okay, cool. I need to get away from these banshees anyway. And it made me think about on Martin. When y'all remember that episode on Martin when I think it was the Halloween episode, and Martin was like, babe, what's a banshee? So anyway, Gary ends up leaving. I also want to say Maurice is hilarious. Maurice interacting with the guys, I actually love that. Maurice interacting with everybody actually was very, very funny. And I actually love that part. I love seeing everybody interact with each other. So seeing the whole cast interact and kick it with each other, top tier. Whoever wrote that part in the episode, kudos to you. So all the ladies was in Andi's room, and they were like, Andi, how could you do this? And Andi, how could you do this? Andi, how could you think about taking him back? And yada 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 and all of this stuff. And this is where discernment for the friends should have kicked in with Andi. And Andi couldn't look at them and stuff, and Fatima picked up on it. Now, I want to say I loved seeing all the women, and I mean all of them, all 5 of the women in Andi's room, and they were talking to and they were, interacting with each other. I loved seeing that part. I loved seeing it. So it looks like everybody's being cordial with each other, not apart from each other, but all together. I loved seeing that. And Fatima was like, see, y'all, she can't even look at us. She can't even look us in the eyes. And Karen was like, yep, she sure can't. I love that. So it looks like we're getting somewhere with with Fatima and Karen being cordial. Now, they don't have to be friends. And I actually have always said that I have always maintained that Karen and Fatima don't have to be friends. They ain't got to be friends, but they don't have to beef either. So two things can be true there. They don't have to be friends, but they ain't got to beef. They ain't got to be, they ain't got to be fighting every episode either. So I'm glad to see that. So Andi was like, look, we're back together. This is what I want to do. Just be happy for me, right? And so they was like, look, whatever, man. And so they left. Well, Danny, Sabrina, and Karen left. Maurice was trying to listen by the door. Zach, Tony, and Rich was sitting down and they was like, man, I thought Andi was smarter than this. And they was like, man, Jordan ain't gonna take this well. And Zack was like, look, man, I've known these women for a long time. I thought Andi was smarter than this too, but obviously, this is what she want to do, this is what she like, hey, it is what it is. And they was like, look, man, they was like, Maurice, what's going on? What they saying and stuff. Maurice said, let me find out y'all messy just like me. I am not gonna lie to y'all. I love that part. And the reason why I love that part, because it showed that masculine men are just as, if not more, messy than men who are not masculine, if you get my drift. And Maurice proved it, because he said, let me find out y'all messy just like I am. Oh my God. And they was like, what he say? They was like, what she say, man? What she say? Maurice said, she said that I don't remember exactly what Maurice said in that moment, but basically he over exaggerated and said that she want Gary, that she want King Kong down there, Gary, or something like that. And they was like, that's what she said? He was like, no, I'm over exaggerating, but hey, that's what she want to do. And so the girls came out the room and they was like, so is this what she want? And the guys was like, so Maurice was like, what is there to think about? What do y'all need to think about? She told y'all what it was. So y'all just need to accept what she said. So everybody left. Karen was like, I'm about to go. And she was like, thank y'all all for coming. And Zack was like, whoa, you need a ride home? So on one hand, I'm not mad at him for wanting to make sure that the mother of his child gets home. But the same, and on the opposite side, I'm like, you're not going, you and your fiance came together. You ain't gonna bother to see where she's at. So it's like a double-edged sword in my opinion, because I'm not upset with, and there were a lot of comments on Twitter. There were a whole lot of comments on Twitter with and different social media outlets with him being and they were upset with Zack for trying to make sure that Karen got home safely because of their history and things of that nature. I'm not upset with that. However, Zack, you came with your fiance as well. Check on her as well. Anyway, Karen was like, no, I'm good. Danny gonna take me home. Danny didn't even know. Danny didn't even know that she was taking Cameron home. And so she was like, well, shoot, I guess I am taking her home. So they ended up leaving. Everybody ended up leaving. Andi comes out of her closet. Fatima is still sitting there. And she was like, oh, you're still here. And she said, yep, come sit down. And she said, now, Andi, you know I know you. This why having a friend like Fatima is definitely top tier. And you definitely need a friend that knows when you lying, that knows when something is wrong with you. She was like, look, Andi, I know you and I understand. She was like, and I know that speech that you gave out there was BS. And I can understand you not wanting to tell everybody else. I can understand you not wanting to tell the girls. And I saw a whole lot of controversy on different social media outlets. You know, a lot of people were upset about the comments that Fatima was making, you know, specifically I can understand you not wanting to tell the other girls' comments. I don't think there was anything wrong with her making that comment because Andi and Fatima has been through a lot with Gary specifically. Fatima knows things that other people don't know. Andi has confided in Fatima about a lot of things regarding Gary that other people don't know. Fatima is Andi's person. She's a safe space, you know. So that's why she said that, you know, and to me, that's why she said, I can understand you not wanting to tell everybody else. She's like, I can understand you not wanting to tell everybody else. She was like, but this me. She was like, what's going on? For real, what's going on? And so Andi was like, you're right, I can't lie to you. And I'm not going to. And the fact that, so I want to say a couple of things about that. The fact that, I respect the fact that Andi was like, okay, let me stop BSing my friend and tell my friend the truth. And she finally told her, she was like, look, Gary owes the cartel a whole lot of money. And the money that he does owe the cartel, he put it towards Jordan's campaign. And now he is threatening to kill. He's threatening to tell the cartel. And he's threatening to kill Jordan if I don't marry him. And she was like, she cried, so I know it felt good for Andi to get that out. And I'm glad that she considered Fatima a safe enough space to get that out. Now, I want to say that, a lot of people is like, well, why couldn't she tell her friends that? Why couldn't she tell Sabrina? Why couldn't she tell Karen? Why couldn't she tell Danny? Let's be honest. What were they gonna do? What could they have done? Pause. What could they have done? Exactly. They can't do nothing. They don't have the means. Karen broke. Jay got no money. She don't have no resources. Danny don't have no resources. Sabrina doesn't have any resources. The $1 million the $1 million that she did have belonged to that African man. And who knows where that came from? Child, Sabrina just barely got out of that situation with Q. So their resources is Andi's resources. All of their resources is Fatima. So they all was gonna end up. Let's be real. They all probably were gonna end up calling Fatima anyway. They all were going to end up asking Fatima anyway. So, yeah. What were they going to do? Not a thing. Not a thing at all. They couldn't do nothing except for what they always do, which is talk about it amongst each other. Get on the phone and talk about it amongst each other. Talk about how stupid Andi is for getting back with Gary, and the next day they on to something else. And let's be real, they all got their own issues. Everybody, life is lifing for every single last one of them, literally. So there was nothing that they could do, nothing that they can do, except for what they're doing right now. And you saw just how as quick as they sat down to see why Andi would be so quote unquote stupid to get back with Gary, and as quick as they got up and left. Exactly. So it was nothing that, so Andi may be a lot of things, but she knows who is safe and who is not safe. And I said this the other day, the body keeps score. Your body knows who is safe around you and who's not safe around you. Why you think the other day on that episode, Andi had to get out of her own house? One, because Gary bought it for her. And two, because she's not safe there. She's not safe anywhere she goes. She knew who she could say stuff around and who she couldn't say stuff around. The only issue is that her house is bugged. And I hope she knows that. But even with it, she knows who Fatima is connected to. She knows who Fatima connected to. She knows how far Fatima's reach goes. So she knew what she could say and who to say it to. So that's why she was able to let her guard down and tell the full truth to Fatima. Not only because that's her friend, but because she know at the end of the day, Fatima got her back. And she know Fatima got resources. She know Fatima parents. Not only does she know Madam got reach, but she also know that Fatima's parents is a judge, and she got full-blown gangsters in her family. Andi may be a lot of things, but she know who she got in her corner, and she know who she don't have in her corner. And last season, when she said that she was calling in expensive favors, she got them expensive favors too. She got them too. Let's see what else happened. Oh, Karen. So the next. Not the next day. Zack gets home. Miss Rose is at the house. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, Miss Rose may look like she be smiling and stuff, but I'm willing to bet y'all when Zack and Fatima ain't at that house, I'd be willing to bet Miss Rose probably be screaming at that little boy. But anyway, she said that she had bathed and gave him a bath and read to him and fed him and all of this stuff. And so she left, and Zack played with him and told him that he was gonna have a little sister, and he was like, you gonna be a big brother, and I'm gonna make sure I keep all of y'all together too. He was like, You gonna have a little sister. You want another little sister? I'm like, God, dog, Zack, you trying to have an African village? Jesus Christ. So that made me think that they're probably gonna introduce Fatima being pregnant soon. And they probably gonna tie in Fatima's pregnancy as well. I don't know why Zack want a whole how we go from Zack saying I ain't want to be this ex jailbird with a whole bunch of kids with different baby mamas running around, and now that's what he is, right? Anyway, and excited about it, golly, how we go from him not wanting to be that to now being that and excited about that, right? As if you're listening. If you're listening, this is what I was talking about when I said intently watching the show. Intently going back and watching the show, because continuity matters. Little bitty things like this matters, because there was a point that Zack said he didn't want to be an ex-con with a whole bunch of kids with different baby moms. And now this is exactly what he is, and he's happy about it. Okay. Moving on. So that happened. And I did like that scene though with Zack and his son, because he's playing with his son, and I actually I do like seeing Zack in father mode with his son, because he went from he went from working so hard to get his son. Now then it was a point he didn't know he was going to get his son. Now he actually has his son. So I liked seeing that. I like seeing that. Let's see. Tony goes over to Danny's house. He's talking to somebody on the phone. We don't know who he's talking to, but he's laughing, smiling like I think he was talking to Tiffany. G.I. Tiff. Soldier Girl Tiff. Her. I think he was talking to her. But that's neither here nor there. He was talking to her, and he walks in the house. She was like, who you talking to? He was like, nobody. Gets off the phone with her, go take a shower. Danny was still, on her phone or whatever. And his phone was just ringing. She thought it was important, so she answers it. Come to find out, guess what it was? It was Tiffany sending Snapchats. It went down in the DM, okay? She was sending pictures of her in just her bra and panties, right? And so Tony get out the shower with just a towel on. And so Danny was just sitting there calm, and she was like, I just find it funny how. And I said, soon as we say I just find it funny how, we are already about to go in. I just find it funny how you tell me I don't have to worry about this girl. Yes, she's sending you half naked pictures. And so Tony goes off. What you going through my phone for? I said, oh yeah, he hiding something. As soon as he's got the spazzing like that, I said, Danny, just cut your losses, sis. Cut your losses and just get out. Just cut your losses. Leave whatever this is alone. You're not married to this guy. You don't have no kids to this guy. The relationship is still fresh. Go on, get out now. Okay? It's fine. Just go on, get out now. What you going through my phone for? You so insecure and blah, 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 blah. Danny said, I'm not being insecure. This is not insecurity, and I wasn't going through your phone. I didn't go through it at all. I picked it up because it was going off so much that I thought it was important. I just so happened to pick it up, and guess what I see? And he was like, you know what? I'm not dealing with it. I don't have to take this. I'm not dealing with this insecurity. I'm just finna go. Danny said, you know what? Fine. But you're not taking my towel. Oh my gosh. For Tony to spaz like that, he is giving Tiffany reasons to send him pictures like this. Okay, so let's get on Karen. So Karen was sitting down going over the infinitely many bills that are past due on her credit card, and Pam comes in. Well, she called Pam in to discuss it because Pam had used the credit card and the insurance lapse and stuff. And so she called Pam in and she was like, I need to talk to you about this credit card. And she was like, what you talking about? She was like, yeah, you used the credit card and now the insurance lapsed. And we got all these past due. She was like, I got all these past due bills. Pam was like, okay, that was she was like, okay, I used the credit card a long time ago. And she said, yeah, you used the credit card a long time ago, but now it's maxed out and the insurance lapsed, and I got all these past due. I got all these bills that's past due that I need to pay. And Pam was like, okay, I'll loan you some money. And so Karen was like, loan me? Pam, you owe me. She was like, you owe me money. And she was like, and Pam was like, what you mean? She was like, what you mean I owe you money? She was like, you owe me and I want half of your business. She was like, you owe me. And she was like, and you need to pay me back what you owe me. And so Pam was like, okay, once I'll pay you back in 8 months. And she was like, I want half of the business. And Pam was like, what you mean you want half of the business? You don't even believe in my business. Which is true now. Which is true. She was like, you even believe in my business. And so Karen was gonna say, that's not true. I just wanted you to take care of business here. And she was like, I just wanted you to take care of business and do your work here. And she was like, all the stylists and stuff here talk about you. And I want to get into that too. She was like, all the stylists and stuff here talk about you. And Pam was like, they just jealous, and I would. She was like, they just jealous, and I would be too. And Pam was like, I'ma keep my business. She said, I'ma keep my business, and in 8 months, I'll pay off your credit card. So basically, what it boils down to is Karen wants half of Roots to Riches. She was like, I want half. She said, I want half of your business, or I don't want to hear about Roots to Riches in this shop no more. Now, here's my thing. My thing is, y'all remember a few seasons ago when Karen got the call, and when Pam even told her that Zack stole $5,000 off of her business credit card. Pam told Karen that Zack stole the money off of her credit card. Y'all remember that? We're about to take a little trip down memory lane. Y'all with me? Let's go. Pam told Karen that she got a call from the credit card company, gave her the statement of the credit card, told her that they said that it was Zack who stole, showed her the signature of Zack stealing $5,000. I think it was like $5,900 or something, right? Karen called the bank, was on the phone with the bank. The bank said that Zack did it. Okay? Because she was on the phone with the bank for a minute. The bank said Zack did it. Pam said Zack did it. Karen was on the phone with Zack. Karen got off the phone with Zack. Went to Zack's job at the airport. Begged and screamed and cussed Danny out to get Danny to get into the airplane. to see Zack. Why the heck would you do this, Zack? This is a new level of low for you, and yada yada yada. I have spent thousands of dollars on you, Zack, and I will be so much further in my life if you wouldn't have charged all of this money to my credit card. You're gonna give me my money now, or I'm gonna go to the police, Zack. She slapped him. She told him that she hated the day that she met him. Slapped him in his face, left all his granddaddy stuff in the box outside, told him that even him taking the knife for her don't change the fact that she hate him, and all of this stuff, right? She goes with Sabrina and them to Sabrina's house. Sabrina says all of her friends said, Karen, this does not sound like Zack. Zack been with you for 3 years. He would not steal from you. Plus, Zack don't want to go back to jail. This is fraud. This is credit card fraud. Now Karen told Zack, I'ma go to the police. I'ma tell the police what you did because this is fraud. And if you don't get me my $5,900 back, now mind you, Zack was working at the airport at the time. That was the only means of income that he had. He hadn't secured. Now he was working now he had got the chain breaker's house at the time, but he wasn't he hadn't came into no money from that yet. The only means of income that he had was the airport, right? So that's the only means of income that he had. And she told him he needed to come up with her $5,900 ASAP, or she was gonna go to the police. Okay. Keep following me now. All right. She took the bank statement to Sabrina. Sabrina looked at it. Sabrina was like, look, friend, I understand you upset, but this does not sound like Zack. Zack would not do this to you. Now, Zack done some stuff. Now, side note, I don't know where this newfound Zack and Sabrina are best friends stuff is coming from, because the Zack and Sabrina I know could not stand each other. Matter of fact, Zack couldn't stand the sister circle at all. And I missed it. But anyway. anyway. Sabrina, Andi, and Danny was like, look, Karen, I know you mad. Even Danny was like, look, friend, I know you mad, but you need to make sure that you know in your heart of hearts that Zack did this. And for those of you who are watching, y'all will see where I'm going with this. Just follow me. Okay? Danny was like, look, you need to make sure that you know in your heart of hearts that Zack did this, because you done threw his granddaddy stuff out. You done said all of this stuff to him. You done did all of this stuff. You done came up here acting a fool. And you done did all of this stuff. You are not going to be able to take this back. You about to go to a place that you're not going to be able to come back from. You need to make sure that you know that he actually did this, because I don't think he did this. They get to Sabrina's house. Sabrina looked at the statement. Sabrina was like, before you go to the police and file this police report, let me go let me call my friend at this bank. This is a sister bank that we do business with. Let me call them, get the actual footage, and see what I can find out. Do not do anything until I find this out. Now, Sabrina wasn't supposed to do that, but she did that. Sabrina said to her friend, don't do anything until I get this information to you. The very next day, Karen was in that precinct in the cool of the day, filing that police report to get Zack put in jail. And Zack got pulled over, and I almost got shot by the police and everything, and got put in jail. He got out. He got arrested, got out. Then he called Karen, told her, look, Zack got put in jail. I don't care. I'm glad he got put in jail. He needs to give me my money. He done found some, and then she was like, well, he's out now. Good. Whoever got him out can pay me my money back. How did he get out? Who? And I bet it's a woman that's stupid enough to take care of him. He done found some woman that's gullible and stupid, just like I was, that took care of him. Well, and hopefully she can give me my money back. And that same day, Karen slept with him. So here's my thing. I'm saying all that to say, when it came to Zack, she did all of this hooping and hollering. She got him arrested. But when it comes to Pam is still working there. And she actually has proof that Pam was using the card. She saw Pam use the card. But Pam is still working there. So my point is, why not fire Pam? And see, and I was talking to I talked to my husband about it. I sat with this all weekend, y'all, trying to figure out my stance on it. And and honestly, there's nothing to figure out because there's morals. There's of course the full board, and y'all know me, I look at the full board, and of course there's popularity with the show. It's so many different ways to look at this, and that's honestly the beauty of Sistas. That's the beauty of Sistas on BET. That's why I watch the show. That's why I love the show. So as a business owner myself, I'm in agreement with Karen. I definitely would be like, oh, you gonna pay me what you owe me. And here's what I mean when I say you're gonna pay me what you owe me, because Karen did say that Pam had been buying other stuff. Now, Karen did get her money back for the products. Karen got her money back for the products specifically. But Karen also said that Pam had been using the card for other stuff. And the only thing that Pam bought for the shop was a lamp and a chair. So those other things that Pam bought, yeah, she need to run Karen her money back. Not to mention, she also has been using the shop to sell those products. She's also been using the shop to store her products. So yeah, she either need to buy, and that card, that business credit card, was used to fund Pam's business. So yeah, she'd pay Karen back. So Karen may have gotten her money back for the initial products, for that bull semen and the initial stuff, but apparently, according to Karen, now this may have been bad writing, on the writers on the writers end, or this may have been it's either bad writing or it's continuity, something. But either way, Pam needs to run Karen her money back off of the fact that Karen's fresh start has pretty much been Pam's place of employment for Roots to Riches. So technically speaking, business-wise speaking, Karen pretty much been a silent partner. And I'm not even talking about on no petty stuff. I'm talking business-wise. Karen pretty much been a silent investor in Roots to Riches. And I'm talking as a business owner myself. When I sat down and looked at it from a logical standpoint and from a business perspective, that's pretty much what's been going on. And Pam need to run. They what needs to happen is they need to sit down and they need to put everything on paper. Everybody sign on the dotted line, and Pam can buy Karen out. And they ain't even got to talk about it no more. That's what needs to happen. And I'm not even talking about getting, and I'm not now, I don't agree that she needs to get half of Pam's business, but what has been happening so far as far as getting paid for using Karen's shop to sell her products so far, and using Karen's shop to make her products, and using Karen's card to buy all of the stuff that she done bought so far, yeah, run Karen her money. And then Pam can just go on about her business and they ain't got to ever speak about it no more. They ain't got to speak about it no more. They ain't got to talk about it no more. Now, on the other side of that coin, as far as those other past due bills and stuff like that, I don't think that's Pam's fault. Karen just ain't been paying her bills. And I said that last week on my review. That is not Pam's fault. Karen just ain't been paying her bills. And that has nothing to do with that past due credit card. Karen just ain't been keeping up with her bills. And that is not Pam's fault. That's Karen's fault. Because at the end of the day, it is still Karen's responsibility to keep up with what's due, what's not due, what's coming up, what's not coming up. And me and my husband was talking about it, and he was like, me and him, we agreed that he was like, man, she keep Pam around because she pretty much keep the business afloat, as far as when keeping customers in and out and stuff like that. She get the pop up at Zack and Fatima house, and she get to run everywhere, do whatever she want to do, cause she know as long as Pam there, she can do whatever she want to do. And I'm like, yeah, that's true, but at the same time, it's still her responsibility to make sure that things is on the up and up at her office, though. So at the end of the day, Karen still has to take responsibility for her business. And I still maintain that Karen needs a scapegoat. It used to be Zack. It's not Zack no more. And she was so used to being able to say Zack wasn't ish, Zack broke, Zack broke, he ain't ish, he a F up, and all of these things. That changed when her and Zack broke up. Zack got his own, Zack came into his own. Zack got another woman. She couldn't use the whole Zack is a F up, Zack ain't ish. She couldn't use that no more. She couldn't say that to people no more when Zack started coming into his own. When and especially when Zack didn't need her no more. She couldn't throw in his face that he wasn't ish no more, right? So she couldn't use that scapegoat. She couldn't say, I done spent all this money on you, Zack. I done gave you thousands of dollars on you, blah 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 blah. And if I'm honest, as far as the money issues go, she could say, Zack, I done spent all this money on you, and I done bailed you out of jail all these times, yada, yada, yada. She could say that. To be honest, I think she's always had money management issues, but she could blame it on Zack when she was with Zack. Zack gone now, but she still needs a scapegoat. So she got to have somebody. So that's Pam. But now Pam is coming into her own. Pam has her own business now. The business is booming. She doesn't like that the business is booming, but she still has money management issues, right? So here come this credit card that's maxed out. Now, don't get me wrong. I still maintain that Pam does need to make right on her end, professional wise, and do good business and pay what she owes. But still, Karen, still the fact still remains, Karen still needs a scapegoat, and now the scapegoat is Pam. Y'all see what I'm saying? Put what y'all think in the comments. The scapegoat is now Pam. And and then there's the control thing. I used to could be able to control Pam. Now Pam coming into her own. Pam got her own investors. Pam got a mind of her own now. Pam ain't running up behind me no more. Y'all see what I'm saying? Am I making sense? Put it in the comments if y'all get what I'm saying. Let me know if y'all agree, disagree. So that's what happened with that. Pam, and what ended up happening with that is Pam said that in 8 months she was gonna pay back the little credit card. What happened? What happened after that? Sabrina, the guy at work said that he was gonna be the donor. Oh God, Sabrina. Didn't we go through this with M'Baku? Didn't M'Baku say in like 2 seasons ago? Didn't M'Baku just all of a sudden out of nowhere say, you know what, Sabrina, I don't know you, but here's $1 million to get Maurice out of jail? And she just was just so happy and was like, oh my God, thank you so much. Sabrina, baby, you deserve it. Honey, do these people on the show have a relationship with God? Do they pray? Do they have, are there any elders that they go to for counsel? Do they go to church? Do they sit with the elders and talk to them? Do you ask yourselves questions? I met this person today. They said that they would do this for me. Do you sit with yourself and ask yourself, self, this happened today. I wonder why this happened today. I wonder why this person said this. Do you self-reflect? Do you pray? Do you pray when you first wake up? Do you pray before you go to sleep? Do you read your word? I'm not understanding. I am not understanding. Sabrina, honey bunches, honey, sweetie, sweetheart. If the same thing, if the same thing happens more than once, sweetie, you don't ask yourself why it happens more than once. A man out of nowhere done came to you before. Matter of fact, wasn't it a dark-skinned guy? Charming, sweet. He looked to be charming. You don't ask yourself why a man is giving his sperm away in college. You so desperate to have a child that you just gonna accept a donor from anybody. A man at your job. A man out of nowhere. Here's your story. You don't ask yourself why a man out of nowhere at your job just wants to do a story on you. You don't pray to the Lord Jehovah and ask him why this is Didn't you go through something similar with M'Baku? And he just all of a sudden wanted to give you $1 million to get Maurice out of jail, and you did not know him. You didn't know nothing about him. You literally had just met this man the day before yesterday, and he, you know what? I slept on it, and I thought about it, and you know what? I'm gonna give you this $1 million to get your friend, to get your best friend out of jail. I don't know you, but here's $1 million. And here you are right now. You know what, Sabrina? I don't know you, but I heard your story. And I thought about it. And I've been giving sperm out to people I don't know since college. And here's my sperm. You can have it. Let's go ahead and go to the doctor after work. And you just, oh, thank you so much. This is amazing. What is wrong? What is... Oh, and you're mad because Rich has questions? Of course he has questions, Sabrina. Y'all are in a relationship. Regardless if and then you don't get to question me. You the one that don't want kids. Now here's my thing. Two things could be true. Just because he does not want children does not mean he does not get to ask questions. Y'all are still in a relationship. So you decided that you wanted to update him on the status of your IVF treatments. You opened that door for him to then ask questions because guess what, Sabrina? You're still in a relationship with Rich. You see how that works? It's not give, and then you shut the door because you don't feel like listening. It's give and take. Give, take. Give, take. See how that works, Pooh? You invited this man over to update him on your status. I don't want to listen to this. It's my body. You didn't say all that, it's my body, when you told him, I can change your mind, give me your sperm. Because let's be honest, if the roles were reversed, and Rich said, if the roles were reversed, and Sabrina said she didn't want kids, and Rich then said, well, I can change your mind, give me them eggs, we will be calling Rich a rapist. We absolutely would. Yep, we absolutely would. So that happened with Rich and Sabrina. Andi and Gary was talking to the wedding planner. Andi again was sitting there very stoic, not really saying a lot, but still playing the part. The wedding planner was like, this is going to be the wedding of the century. The wedding planner left. Gary said, fix your effing face. And you stuck with me, so get used to it. And Andi was like, okay, whatever. Can I go now? And he was like, yeah, you can go, but you need to drop them drawers. I told y'all, when you expose Satan, he becomes all of himself. Gary does not have to hide who he is no more. There's no reason to. There is no reason to. When Gary got exposed for who he truly was to Penelope, it was no reason to hide no more. Not only that, but then when Andi developed a backbone and said that she wasn't taking it no more, and then when he told Penelope that Andi was just a side piece and she didn't mean nothing to him, and then Andi told Penelope, he gonna do this, and this, and really exposed everything and all of who he truly was. Baby Gary said, well, ain't no use in me hiding no more. I ain't got to. Everybody know everything about me and how I truly am. No point in me hiding. And he is now being all of himself. So people are like, I cannot believe that he is like this. It's how he's always been. He told Andi to drop her underwear. Andi said, I'm not gonna be able to do that. She thought that he was trying to get something started in the office, and he was like, okay, that's fine, but take them off so I can smell you throughout the day, and like yelled at her to hurry up and take them off. And writers, if y'all are listening, I'm telling y'all, please let Tyler Perry know. Surviving Gary Marshall Borders needs to be a spinoff, because Cheeto is carrying season 7, and Cheeto is playing this Gary role, baby. He is playing the mess out this role, because Gary is something else. He is something else, and Andi really is in fight or flight mode. She is trying not to die. So people are like, why she won't do nothing? Why she won't say nothing? She is trying to stay alive. She know one wrong move, she could be dead. That's why she's like that. Either she could be dead or Jordan could be dead. That's why she's like that. Not only that, but I'm pretty sure she's probably thinking about the times, because this isn't the first domestic violence situation that she's been in. She probably has that in her mind. She probably has that in her mind. She probably has, because we got a chance to see into her world a little bit as when she was a kid, and she talked about her mom and her dad. She is stoic like that because she is literally in fight or it really is fight or flight at this moment. And she is really doing her best to keep her head above water at this moment. She's literally suffocating. She's trying to stay. She's surviving. And she's doing what she got to do to survive. She don't like it, but she doing what she got to do. She's doing what she got to do to stay alive, and it is the story of a lot of women before. And shout out to the writers for telling the story of a lot of women, especially Black women. A lot of our ancestors did it. This is definitely the story of a lot of women before us who have sat in Andi's spot, had to sit stoically beside a monster, where one wrong move and he snapped your neck in two. And trigger warning for anybody that's listening who've had to endure that. I do hope, for anybody that's listening, I do hope that you know that is definitely not the will of God for you. And I pray that you do seek solace, and I pray that you do seek help. And there definitely are resources for you. Sorry that I got serious right quick, but moving on. Andi did get to her office. You can definitely tell that she was being careful because she didn't know if Gary had any plants in the office or any cameras or anything. So she got to the office and somebody was calling her. It was Penelope. She was like, "Why did you break up with Jordan?" And she was like, "Who told you that?" She was like, "Jordan did. He's very upset about it." She was like, "Was it because you wanted to, or was it because of Gary?" She was like, "I don't feel comfortable talking about this over the phone." And she was like, "That means Gary did it." She was like, "Look, the phones are not bugged or tapped." She was like, "You don't know that, but I gotta go." So Fatima came into the office. She was like, "Look, I've been wrecking my brain trying to figure out how, what can be done, or how this even happened, or how did he even blackmail you?" And I shout out to Fatima for wanting to help, but I have to be honest, I don't like when Fatima get in this mode. She gets into this mode where she, the whole, I've been up all night wrecking my brain trying to figure out how to help. And I love that Fatima does that because Andi is family to Fatima. But Fatima gets so involved where she potentially puts her life in danger too. And I don't like that. I don't like that she be putting her life in danger as well, because we see in the trailer for the episode for tonight that it's possible that Fatima is gonna get hurt. But anyway, Fatima was like, "Well, I say we take this dude out." She didn't say it like that, but that's pretty much what she said. And I could tell Fatima was in like, look, I could tell Fatima was in ride or die mode because she had on red, and y'all know red means dead. But anyway, that's what happened there. Let's see what else happened. Miss Marie came into Hayden's office and she was filling him up. And stuff. And Tamara came in and she was like, "Oh my God, so this what you've been doing?" So Tamara was like, "So this what you've been doing?" Child, y'all, it literally was giving, "Hello, Barbara, this is Shirley." I said, what in the love and hip hop / Barbara, this is Shirley / mess is this? Baby, when I tell y'all Miss Marie is a proud sugar mama, and Miss Marie's shirt was and Miss Marie's skirt was too big. But y'all, at the same time, Miss Marie was loving it. She said, "Child, I ain't had this much fun in years." But y'all know what? Older people with younger people love that kind of stuff. They love like the rush. They love that kind of stuff. Baby Miss Marie and Tamara was about to fight in that office. But so that happened, and the episode ended with Jordan coming to see Andi and was like, "You need to tell me what's going on. You need to tell me why is it that you broke up with me to get back with Gary." And you can tell that Jordan does not believe that Gary and Andi are together for real. You can tell that he doesn't, because of something that he says of something that he said to her in the trailer for tonight. You can tell that he doesn't believe it. I forget what it is that he said to her, because I haven't fully watched the trailer, but you can tell he doesn't believe that they're together for real, and you can tell that he believes that she got bullied into getting back with Gary. But that was the episode. I'm sorry it was late. But thank you guys so much for rocking with me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys back later on tonight for episode I think it's episode 21, 22, one of them. I know next week is the season finale. So we got tonight's episode, and then we got the season finale next week. All right, I love y'all in real life.